Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy Wave X's video. And I know this banner is not going to be as exciting for you guys in global, but I'm going to go in depth anyways on some of these units that you may either be interested from a while ago, or maybe just be interested to get from an EX ticket eventually. So we have New Vision Awakening Sid here, who was exciting when he debuted. When I saw him that he was coming out on the JP version. However, he didn't really make a splash. This is one of the points where they didn't really care about New Vision Awakenings a lot. So I'm gonna show you why. His base form, 100 times mod buff for the Spine Shatter dive plus 0+. That's it. That's all he gets in his base form. And in his Rave Shift form, 200 times mod jump using 2 abilities, and in his Brave Shift LB, of course. Locked to wind element as well, but I mean it's not that big of a deal because of Kane. He's locked to elements too, but he's still used. His LB gives 40% wind amp, 300% attack buff, and 200% beast killer on top of the mod buff. 400% TDH, that's pretty good. 500% cap, 700% jump damage, pretty good as well. 100% dragon, aquatic beast, and avian killer. Now the problem with Sid is if you already had Kane, why would you even care about Sid? Because he's weaker and he only has 1 element, whereas Kane has 2 at least. On top of no infinite turns, and his base form literally is useless. Like, at least his Brave Shift form is kind of okay if you have the 2 new equipment from the Richard, the S team on the vision card, and help him out a little bit. But if you have Kane, why would you even care about Sid? So I'm going like a 7 at best. I didn't see anyone use him. I didn't get to really use him all that much because it's just like Kane has been in the pool for a while by now, so you might have gotten him even from an off banner. I've gotten him from an off banner recently on my new account, my new whale account. I got him an off banner, so it's possible he's been in the pool for a while. So it's like the only reason why you need Vision Awakening him for more bonus and to get more 5 stars out of your box. That's really it. That's all I can think of for him. Sadly, wish they would have done more for him, but they didn't. Anyways, we have Yshe. She's a breaker. 150% machine killer for all allies. I kind of forgot about that she has that. Don't really use that too often. 130% ice and fire and peril on demand. It's not that special on global, but I just thought to mention that, I suppose. In her passive, she has 150% dragon, insect, and machine killers. 500% cap. The LB is the typical JP break, so it's not going to be special for you guys in global. 25% spear and peril, that's a little better. 140% ice and peril, that's pretty decent. And then the 27 hit LB. And the SLB, the typical JP breaks again. They're not very good. And they don't change at all for the SLB from the LB, which is very bizarre, but okay. 35% spear and peril. Now we're talking a little bit. 145% ice and peril. Ooh, pretty good. And also another 27 hits. Works really well with Kall, because he likes to finish, and she has 27 hits. So if you saw my combo video with Kurasami and Yshe and Kall, for example, Kall. I keep calling him Kall because that was basically one of his JP names. Otherwise, there's nothing special about her because on global we don't really care about these JP breakers that are just on banners normally. They have weaker breaks than what we have in global. That's kind of a problem on both sides. Like, JP doesn't really want to give out 90% breaks. Global already gave them out, so they're a lot less special, I suppose. I don't know what else to say about that. Only 100% TDH, so she requires a lot to be built. I know because I've used her several times. The only benefit is that she has some decent killers, so at least she has it on that front. It's a little better. Here's the even worse part. Only 75% low burst damage, so she requires a lot. And believe me, I know I have her EX3 now on global or JP because I pulled some of the out banners off her. And global players, like I said, she doesn't seem that special at all. So I'm gonna give her 8 out of 10 because she does have some decent things like the Ice Imperil, which won't be power corrupt for a long time now because there's still no 160% Ice Imperil, and 27 hits, so she can chain with anybody pretty much in the game that has Bolting Strike. So 8 out of 10 for Yshe. Also, her S teamer is very good for Kall. I still have it written as Kall. Sorry about that. As Kall. It's a very good S teamer for them. And it's two-handed. Here's Kall. So his STMR is good if you want to go the Blizzaga route. His 3% TDH, 250% magic TDH, 500% cap, 250% little burst damage, so he's a little easy to gear. 1000 flat attack and magic at max level. He also has 200% machine, 100% beast, insect, and dragon killers, but those won't really matter for what we'll talk about shortly here, unless you want to go the Blizzaga route. 750 times Blizzaga mod at max with his STMR. His LB is, we're not going to talk about his LB. Let's just talk about the SLB here. 130% Ice Imperil, 1950 times true slash fixed damage, whatever you want to call it. 2 hits, and unlocks quad cast for 3 turns. His SLB is true damage, so we'll go through all mitigations very similar to Evokers. But there's a huge downside to that. So let's talk about his cons. His SLB won't be a special and global because Baron came first. And Baron's, even though his is lightning damage and Kall's his ice damage, it's not as going to be as interesting because Baron can buff up his mods to be much stronger than 1950 times if you wanted to use fixed damage. Doesn't gain benefits from killers with his SLB, and typically his own STMR is not good compared to Yshe's, who gives 500 flat attack and magic. So the only reason why you would ever use his STMR is for the Blizzaga mod route, which is might be okay too. If you want to go for a nice magic finisher, I suppose you could do that as well. So unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be as special and global. He'll do pretty good damage, but I just don't think he's gonna be as unique as when he came out on the JP version. I made a lot of videos on him because he was pretty unique. But now we know from foresight into the future, he isn't as special anymore. So I'm gonna go an 8 as well for him because he can still deal good damage. And he has 2 routes at least. He's not stuck with, oh my god, he only has his SLB and he doesn't have anything else. At least he has another route. So if you wanted to pull for him, he has 2 routes of damage at least. And finally we have someone who's a little contested in terms of hype, I suppose. I still think she's quite good. Omatao. Now her STMR, for you guys, might not seem that special, and it really isn't. So don't look at the STMR too much. But she does have 250% plant, stone, and machine killer for 1 ally. And we talk about why that's pretty unique here shortly, because she's not a limited time unit. She is an SLB, but they're tied to normal abilities. At EX2, she has 100% all killer buff for all allies at the start of battle. Decent. Ice Imbue for all allies, and also 35% Ice Amp as well. On top of that, has Chaos Wave and Bolting Strike chaining for support, I suppose. Has some healing. Her LB, nothing really worth mentioning over the SLB. Let's just talk about the SLB here. 300% attack and magic, 250% LB damage, 150% machine, stone, and plant killer. And here's one thing that usually helps me out a lot in one of my recent trial runs. 100% HP auto revive. That's very nice. And she will be definitely very good when it comes to Mastermind Zon because JP doesn't have anything like that, whereas Global does. So he'll be able to spread out those 250% killers. And like I said, for those of you guys who will say, oh ma'am, and also High Knuckle exists. Well, they are SLBs and they're tied onto their SLBs, and also they're limited time. Whereas, like I said, Ilmatalle is not limited time. And this is kind of an indirect thing. It would have been nice for Masterminds on to get Neo Vision Awakening, honestly. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but it would be nice if it happened. And stuck with dual casting her killers, unfortunately, so most times you would just do the 250% killers until your top DPSs or finishers, more than your chainers, unless you're spreading it. And her Ice Imbue amp is only 35% when we have 45 on some units. So I was already dead set in giving her a 9 because while her killers are very high, she can only dual cast them. Mastermind's on is not Neo Vision Awakening, so you won't be able to use in Clash of Wills, for example, because you won't get a higher score because you won't have any of those stars because he's a 7-star, sadly. And for Clash or for Dark Visions, I'm pretty sure people will use the strategy still because it's not as needed to get Neo Visions and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I think she's the best of the banner. So if you were even honestly, if they came out a rough time. Honestly, they came out a very rough time because of anniversaries probably next week, and the anniversary banner's probably being a lot better than this one. So pull at your own risk. The whole banner could probably just if the whole banner just was skipped entirely, you probably wouldn't even remember any of them other than Omatao. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. If you have any comments, concerns, confessions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'm happy to see you in the very next video. Peace.